Hello, greetings. All right, so chat portion. And after this, I'm going to try attempt to do another live stream with higher quality video. So I'm not sure how I'm going to go with that. So after this, I might do it. But we'll see. I got it working at least. All I have to do is click a button. Said before I had to set it up. So we'll see how things go. Okay, blessings. And here we go. Greetings. I am Raphael. Blessings. I came in earlier, and now I am here again to assist with your questions. So when you're ready, I'll be happy to connect.
Thank you so much for coming. So first up is Wanda 11. I would like to know a future life I have 300 years from now.
I understand you have many incarnations at once. One, I do see you as a reptilian queen without negativity, and of humanoid facial features, but very much a reptilian of strength, also of beauty. Not to say reptilians are not beautiful, but where emotion and honor is connected, no longer connected to the high mind, where individuals can have free will. This is sometime in your future, but I believe many have connected to those lifetimes. But it is a peaceful and positive existence.
Okay, Wanda would also like to know if you can tell her about her Lemurian lifetime.
Yes, as a Lemurian, she was very connected to the oceans, but also teaching children how to interact with the ocean. Yes, she connected to the mermaids, on healing the mermaids, because even the mermaids at that time did have, it was not always peaceful, but the Lemurians, they would come to the Lemurians to be healed. So it was part of your incarnation. Of course, there's much more, but we'll leave you with that. Blessings.
Okay, Amy would like to know, can you tell me more about the liquid being named Lucas that is an ascendant master guide for me? She has some follow-ups. Where is he from? How does he help her? And why? What can she call upon him for?
Call them up for anything. A question of mostly around male energies of how to interact with them, because sometimes they can be very aggressive and very mind controlling. And Lucas can help cut you through that to give you the more honest answer, what many males do not bring to you. But of course, it can be on anything. If you go to make a purchase, is this place that you're buying this product from, are they being honest? You can always connect to Lucas for that. So you can connect to Lucas for many things. I believe he's from Sirius, from what I'm gathering at this time. Blessings.
Okay, Amy would also like to know if there's any messages for her.
Yes, your spirit guides are very loving to you, not to say not loving to others, but you have a good connection with them. Even if you're not always receiving the message, you do have a good relation with them. It does also seem like those that you can interact with, once you start to see your spirit guides more clearly, most likely some of them might show an appearance, or maybe in a magazine to show you who they are, to be more clear. But I believe your connection to your guides will increase, and you also teach others how to connect to their guides also. Blessings.
Okay. Next up is Chloe. What is the most powerful thought a human can hold that can raise their connection?
The thought of positivity. Positivity towards yourself and others. It is very simple, but not easy to do, as you can see, as many are still exploring their dark sides. But how to release that dark side is a powerful thought also. So the powerful thought is it's mostly, actually, to go into that further, is whatever thought that is the strongest, what is it that you feel very close to. It could be a goal, it could be anything. It's different for everyone when you come down to it. Yes, positivity is part of it, but the thought can be of anything. Blessings.
Chloe also asks, why am I so depressed? Can you help me?
You have not found your way here. You are still discovering, but also depression is a way to find your way out if you wish. Meditation will help. Even meditation seems like there's been blockages there. Find things that make you happy, but even those are not making happiness. We just say to go outside, connect with nature, but even that is not. You're exploring yourself at this time. Letting go of this negativity is up to you. You're depressed because you're holding on to negativity that you're not fully aware of. Releasing it is another. You are exploring negativity. And that's for you to release. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Jess. What message does Archangel Raphael have for me about my health situation and overall chakra percentages?
Well, it's good I'm here. And that is not a coincidence why I am here. But your chakras are in good condition for the moment. But as for your healing, it is just to live your life the best you can. You will heal, but you're going through, I believe you're already aware of this, karma. And yes, that karma can be quite weakening to the soul because of its challenges. Allow one to release this by finding things that bring happiness. It could be a movie to cheer you up, something to cheer you up. Find things that make you happy. Will help rid of this situation you're in. But as for an answer of how to get out of it, it is a long tunnel at this time to release from this contract, from what we are seeing. I'll send you energy, though. Blessings.
Okay, Jess also says, I manifested a change in my work situation, but it's happening in an unexpected way, and I'm looking for any advice from my guides about my employment and if I should relocate. Requesting some good energy sent my way as I stay positive through this change.
I believe you will be on the right path that you choose. As for you will know what is right for you, basically. And this change has actually been coming for some time. You just help speed it up, it seems. But you will be fine, as you will know what to do. I will not put any worry. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Jim F. I was told that a reptilian gray I was involved with I was told that as a reptilian gray, I was involved with the creation of a species and that the species is still around.
Yes. That is the rest of that question. One moment. That is correct. As for the name of this species, they are not fully making themselves known at this time. The red species, they're not going into details of who they are at this time. Just call on that for right now. You can continue your investigation, though. Blessings.
Okay, I think his follow-up to that was if it had anything to do with a connection to the Anunnaki.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very much.
Okay, so his second question is if there are any messages for him.
More of this will open up more about your history. Yes, the Anunnaki connection is very strong, but also you took that Anunnaki knowledge and went to other species that were created, new species, and created other species along with that. And it goes on and on. You're also part of a wizard race that was connected to Merlin's energy, took Merlin's energy and created a species of wizards from that also. I believe some of them go to Agartha. They call themselves the Martian wizards, but they're not necessarily connected to Mars. But they are, the Martian knowledge is with them, but they're not necessarily connected to Mars, but blessings.
Okay, next up is Donna Riggs. Can you tell me of another important historical event that I've been a part of and why that specific event?
I believe during the time of Atlantis, when it was no longer in existence, or during the time, I believe you are of a Jewish energy during the time of the end of Atlantis. Why you chose that incarnation is not to be a part of the destruction of Atlantis, but also remember a lot of that went into the biblical energies of your Noah. Of course, there's much been left out of the Bible of what exactly went down with that, but much of that was removed. Most likely not to be found, but you're part of the historic events, but also Atlantis was a very strong energy. Lemuria also. Those are homes to you, but they were not homes anymore. So you reincarnated to another species, I believe, of the Hebrew energy, and chose to be more safe there because the Atlanteans were no longer safe, and even the Lemurians were no longer safe. It's also for a part of your transition, as the Jewish energy was created by the Atlanteans, of course. So that was why you incarnated in that lifetime. Lessons.
Okay, second one for Donna. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday. And I'm wondering if I have any messages from anyone on the other side tonight.
Well, yes, your loved ones on the other side are always around you. Those that have crossed over, even pets are around you at this time. Of course, they're always around you. There's also a time of change for you. Maybe a small change in your direction, a timeline, something new to add something. We do see you changing your routine a little bit, nothing dramatic. Meaning, as you are exploring your past lives, I believe you will also go through history books and feel you're connected to those places. Right now, you're like going through the museum that is you, not to say you're a museum, but the history of yourself is within these history books also. So we see that within your energy field, and it'll help you connect to your alien energies also. Realize an alien does not have what this world has. So incarnating here and to go through major parts of its timeline was very important to you. It had everything. Of course, there's always important parts of the timelines of historic energy, but for you you are a galactic historian. There's much more to it. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Vas B. Any messages for me?
Yes, there is worry, but also calmness. And that calmness is, I see breaking down the worry because of job situation. The job, yes, is going through transition, but nothing to worry about at this time. But I also see a lot, you're discovering more about yourself during this time also. And to calm down worries for that matter. We also see hobbies around you, trying new things. If you're not, I believe you're dabbling, at least the idea, but I've not fully gone into it. But you see science involved with it also. But that's all we have at this time.
Okay, second question for Vas. Have I had any dealings with the men in black?
Yes, I believe recently. You have been curious on who, I believe you went to them to study them. So they're okay with that. So I don't believe there was anything negative, But I believe you've been going to them a lot recently to understand them more. I don't believe you have a strong connection to them in your past. Every now and then, they have different names in other realities, but you have been basically just visiting and seeing what makes them tick, what do they go through. I believe they even take you on missions. Yes. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Angie S., and this is a bit of a long one. Yesterday I had an episode. I had a sharp pain through the center of my body, up my spine and my chest, through my jaw and my head. I was nauseous and unable to drink. I couldn't speak or take in normal breaths. My heart was fluttering, and today my chest and throat are still sore. This is the third time in 5 years this has happened. The first was the worst pain I've ever had. I went to a cardiologist and they said there's no heart issues. Is this a stress attack or Kundalini symptoms?
Yes, it does seem like there's beings around you that are tampering. I believe some of it is a reptilian energy that is tampering. I don't believe we're trying to bring anything that was negative to you, but their energy sort of kind of blended with yours and caused this, from what I'm seeing. Arcturians actually can cause this also, depending on the Arcturian. But I believe this is a reptilian that caused this, not to be malicious in any way, but it does seem like you're going through a clearing. You actually were going through a clearing. I believe the reptilian was assisting, and it did cause a rupture in your chakras. Yes. You're releasing a violent lifetime, it seems. I believe it was during the Roman time period as a slave. So, I also do see you hung also. So, it was not an easy incarnation.
Okay, Angie's second question. Do you have any guidance for me?
Yes, connect to the angels to clear out your chakras. Metatron is excellent for that, or any angel that feels comfortable for you. You go through your chakras, you can just ask for this. You don't have to necessarily feel their energy go through. But ask for their assistance with their chakras to clear out any negativity. I will bring you assistance so this does not happen again. You can clear but not have this type of rupture. But for you, you're very sensitive also. Everyone's different. But I believe, from what I'm gathering, this will not happen again. It can't be 100%, but I believe it will not happen again. Blessings.
Okay, Susie S. asks, did I share any previous lives with my mother?
Yes, I see canine lifetimes as aliens, humanoid, as friends, mostly friends. On human incarnations, I see you mostly as children, just as friendly children. As for your mother and daughter relationship, I believe that came from the Pleiadians. Even there you were friends, but wanted to create that even stronger bond. Blessings.
Okay, second question for Susie. What's the best way to improve my channeling skills?
Meditation, but also a relationship with their guides will help your channeling. Connect to them, talk to them, see how they're doing. How was their day? What are they doing when they ask them these things? Create a relationship. So you can, if you can channel them consciously, you can channel anybody. Blessings.
Okay. Next up is Danielle Spencer. I would love some uplifting news. Is there anything exciting or hopeful I'm allowed to know?
Well, at this time, I remove a lot of that negativity that's going around you at this time. It's not you as a negative, but there is a lot of energy that is not needed at this time. But in astral, that is where you go. That is your vacation place. But understand this lifetime of stress is because I believe you're on your last life here. So you have up the degree of stress so you can get everything you can out of this world before you leave. Because understand, with a life with no stress, is like, where's all the stress? I need to learn something. So in this lifetime, because you had lifetimes with no stress, and now you have lifetimes we didn't learn everything you're here to learn. Here you're going to make sure you learn everything, so the stress level is quite heavy at this time. But yes, it is all worth it also to let you know. Hopefully this is helpful. Also send you healing because this is much needed. You should feel better tomorrow.
Danielle also says, I feel I'm about to break through a big barrier. Can you see how I'm doing? Thank you and so much love.
Of course. Well, you are ready. And you're also ready to clear out negativity that you're going through. Not to say that stress, you'll be able to handle the stress much easier. But yes, I believe spiritually, yes, you are opening up much within yourself and connecting to your higher self. I believe your higher self connection will improve greatly. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Xiao. I will be moving to a place which is 2 hours drive from Sydney. Are there any messages or advice on my new life and location?
Yes, I believe it will be fine. It is a much needed change. I don't believe you'll be moving anytime soon after this move. I believe the energies will be a lot more clearer and you can connect to your guides even better. Of course, anything can change on that, but I believe it will get better. Blessings.
Okay, Xiao also asks, are there any messages from you, my higher self, or my guides?
You also asked for this change. You might not fully be aware of that, but you did ask for it, and now you're receiving it. There's also many more changes, but small things, clothing changes, that will take some time, style changes. I believe the shaman energies will increase with you also, meaning you'll be connecting to your guides, other people's guides, and be able to help them learn how to channel as you learn to channel. I believe you are finding the temple within yourself. So you're still learning. You're going through your own adventure, as everyone, but you are finding your center from what I see. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Symmetry. Any messages for me?
Yes, it seems like you made peace with the Anunnaki. You have been, in some ways, at war with them for some time. It's been much conversation back and forth. I do see them, yes, mutating your energies, changing your form against your will, and you, of course, did that back to them. So there's been a back and forth between the two of you for some time. I believe you have made a peace with them. I also see a peaceful time coming in your lifetime. It's coming. It's just, yes, there's many stress levels around, but you're also coming. You're letting go of the old you, I see. Blessings.
Okay, and Symmetry's second question, are there any messages from the reptilians?
Yes, they say you beat them at golf. Apparently you've been golfing with them. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but they have many things on their worlds with human properties, and games is something you play with them, and you beat a lot of them at many of their own games. They have human games there, baseball, things, but golf is one they can't figure out for anything, so you beat them at that. Hopefully that's your mercy. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Marianne A., and she would like to know if there's any messages for her.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you've been connecting to Yeshua's energies. Also going to a much younger version of yourself. It seems like you've been going back to your old childhood to clear up a lot of negativity. And Yeshua has been assisting so you can see more clearly through your chakras. I believe you will, through astral and most likely through meditation, you'll be able to connect with us. But you have been going through a journey to your old self. Blessings.
Hey, Marianne's second question. Are there any messages for my friend Eileen who is having her first child?
Well, yes, she's scared at this time, but there's also an exciting time for her to be alive, and she's thankful that you are there with her. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Stephen Davies. What am I doing in astral?
Connecting to your other selves, improving them, it seems. Some of them have some faults, and you're trying to help them out of those faults. They actually ask you for help. You're like a psychiatrist for your other selves. I believe you know Rick and Morty, of the different versions of yourself. You've been doing a lot of that. Not exactly in that comical way, but you have been going to your other selves, assisting your other selves through traumatic situations, it seems, also. Yes, your other selves have been going through a lot of difficulties recently. Blessings.
Okay, Stephen's second question. Are there any messages for me?
A moment. Yes, it seems like you've been connecting more to your spirit guides, allowing a clearing to come through, to see more clearly. You have a connection with the Anunnaki, but a peaceful one, which is rare for many. I believe as a Pleiadian, you're very peaceful to them. You know, even when part of their creation process, they allowed you to go with them when they go on their creation journeys. And you were just there as an observer, and it was quite unique. They even created, I believe, a world for you of different types of species. They do this. You made a unique friendship with them. I know this all sounds strange for most of your humans, but yes, it was a strong connection. I believe there was a Pleiadian world, not to say you were the king of it, but they made a species. They're not going into details at this time, but it was a new species they created that you were very much involved. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Crystal Eve Snow. Are there any messages from my guide, Jacob?
Yes, you might not realize, but yes, you're clearing out of negativity more than you might realize. A lot of negativity. You're also having more connection to your son, it seems. A telepathic connection. As you're helping your son through his ordeals, you're also clearing out a timeline because he does not understand timelines as much as you do. And you're helping him to get on a positive timeline. You might see that by having conversations, but you are assisting his timeline. Because sometimes he goes off into a timeline that is not very good for him. Sometimes. But you've been assisting much to keep him away from those lessons.
Okay, her second question. Are there any messages from my guide, Stephen?
Yes, it's been a challenging life, but also has its worth. You're learning more about yourself here than you've had in other realities. This is where your library is to study yourself. And when you go into astral, you look at yourself and you look at all the things you have learned throughout this lifetime and others. Yes, you can do this in other incarnations, but the challenges here are quite unique. We do see you copying this reality and taking it somewhere else and changing it. That's as a Pleiadian, I see you doing this. You're going to take a lot we've learned here and take it and add it to another experience somewhere. And change it to make it a little bit easier, but also to keep its challenges. There's much more to this, but that's when you get into the fourth density energies. It's not all of it's going to go into third density and be understood. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Moses. Last year, I saw the number 1908 a lot. Does this mean anything?
Yes, those are angel numbers. It is that you're connecting to your spirit guides, that your spirit guides and you have a close bond. And this number is just showing that to indicate that you are connected to your guides still, that everything is okay. It's like a number of just indication that everything is going to be fine. It's just a reminder. That is all.
Okay, Moses would also like to know, why did I take a dragon tattoo on my arm? I have the feeling it's there for a special reason.
Oh, you're connected. Connection to dragons. You have not exactly had the most positive connection with dragons. So this is one way of you making peace with them. It's like, look, I'm going to put it on my body. See, I like you guys after all. You've been a dragon slayer other incarnations, so this is one way for you to make peace with them. It is, yes, it's your relationship with them hasn't exactly been easy, but it's all good. It's like taming a horse, taming a dragon. It is, you have a long history with them.
Okay, next up is Ra. What beings have been around me recently, and do they have messages?
Mostly the Pleiadians, of course, the angels. The angels, actually, they've been taking you to the other side for healing. Much of your Egyptian, your Mars, your connections, your Jupiter lifetimes, healing, much of that. Your human lifetimes have all been done, created for a purpose, of course, for lessons. And you've learned those lessons in each lifetime. Well, we are seeing. You made sure you would learn those lessons no matter what. If you did not learn it, you would stay a little bit longer until you learned it. The reason why they're bringing this up is that you have, in your last incarnations, you have been mastering how to achieve your purpose. Even if you don't know what that purpose is, you still achieve it. Where a lot of people don't know how to do that. You learned this from your Jupiter lifetimes, your Mars. You've seen where others have gone wrong, and you made sure you do not have that in your current. I don't believe you've ever had a lifetime where you missed your lesson. I believe you always have been on track. Not always on track. Everyone's on track, but some have to go through lifetime to lifetime to learn one lesson. You have achieved where you did not have to do that. You made sure of that. You connect to the Archangels and other beings to make sure. Lessons.
Okay, Ra would also like to know what he's been doing in Astro recently.
I find this comical. Playing darts with the Anunnaki. And you've been around a lot of canines in Sirius. The canines, you've been going there just for laughs. I also do see you around a lot of insectoids. They're funny too. You go to places where you can get a good laugh. You've been going to insectoids, canines. Also, just see the frog beings. Go to them also. Frog nightclubs, I see. Blessings.
Next up is Carol McLaughlin. Are there any messages for me?
Yes, it seems like your heart chakra is going through a purge at this time. You're allowing the angels to more connect to you, not to say you're not letting them in, but you are going through a healing process. I imagine you're feeling that. In how elemental you truly are. I believe you're very fairy-like more than you might realize. Yes, as reptilians, I believe have been brought up, but also very, very fairy-like. And the reptilian lifetimes have kind of cloaked that in some degree, but their fairy connections is very strong. One moment. Yes, it does seem like an asteroid going to Gartha quite often. It is your home. It is also where there is drama. You go to them and just say, none of this. And you find a solution to whatever problem there is that's brought to you. Blessings.
Okay, Carol's second question. Are there any messages for my sister Pamela?
At this time, yes, you're learning much about yourself, as everyone is. You're becoming more known to you some of your faults that you're trying to fix. Not trying, but you are in the process of you are connecting to many angels at this time that are repairing past lives that have caused this life to get somewhat off kilter. It has kind of been off to some degree. Does it feel like you're not always on your timeline, that you're kind of off track? Is because a past life has kind of interfered with. You've been clearing that recently. It does seem like sometimes you go off the rails because there's been a reason for it. It is rare, but it does happen. I have to say you've been off your life purpose, not at all, but it has not been always easy. And being off like this, you're not always connecting to mind and spirit, hasn't always been connecting correctly. Through depression, through anger, sometimes it's coming from another lifetime that's been kind of derailing. But you're in the process of healing this. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Gregory Savakul. What are my connections to Orion?
Yes, it seems like you go to the Orion Council. I believe there's a Pleiadian through other lifetimes for clearance for certain technologies to be brought to your race, to allow certain species to connect. I believe you are like a negotiator, you can say. You go to Orion very often to bring to much of the knowledge to the Pleiades. As for your Orion connections, yes, there's much. I believe mostly as an amphibian being from what I'm seeing. But humanoid, you've had several lifetimes there. Orion is home to you, from what I'm seeing. But you go off to other places and bring your Orion knowledge there. But you always go out to Orion to gather knowledge, to bring to these other places to expand.
Okay, Gregory, second question. What's the story behind my financial trouble, and any idea when it will improve?
Well, understand this does not exist in other realities. This is one of the reasons. It does seem like you're exploring yourself at this time to help. You're learning how to manifest a more positive financial situation. You're learning that still. Just don't call it a problem. Just call it, it will work out. It will work itself out. I know it's difficult to see that, but whatever money that you need, it will come. Just, yes, you are part of a time, yes, of great struggle at this time. You're testing yourself with very little funds. But the idea is to keep yourself balanced. Positivity, yes, there's going to be some irrational thinking, of course, but your experiences, because it does not exist where you came from, and there's much knowledge there to be retrieved. Of course, when your financial situation gets better, you will see it more clearly. Right now, it's hard to see it. Blessings.
Okay, next up is Xinyu Qi. What is the nature of laziness and addiction?
Some of that is different for everyone. Some of it's manipulation. Some are just like fairies, used to be addicted all the time. And it's normal for them. And also, it's different for everybody. Some remember their lifetimes on the other side. And they're always used to that high. So they want to get back to that high by doing addictions. And they want to stay there. You don't see it as an addiction. Just see that's the way of life. Is to be high. So they want to get back to that high energy feeling, that fourth density or 12th density, however you want to view it. As for laziness, procrastination has a lot to do with going against this world's slavery energies. You know, many just wish just to chill out and not be a part of the system. It's like I wouldn't call it lazy. If you want to call it that, depends on it, but just not, you want to create your own timeline where you can make what you need come to you and mellow out the this, as you call laziness, isn't really laziness. It is, you're settling down the negativity here more than you might realize. You're mellow. Those that are lazy, as you would call it, are actually mellowing out the energies across your world more than you might realize. They're taking their less stress energy and sending out to others to be less stressful and to help others that are very stressful. So, I would not use the word lazy, but it is good. Blessings.
Okay, second question. Are there any messages for me?
Just concentrate on what you want. I do see a strong Lemurian connection with you. And the stones, if you find a stone that feels strong with you, a crystal, I imagine I'll have many Lemurian messages for you. Blessings.
Okay, my name is Stacy.
Yes.
My first question, are there any messages from my guides at this time?
Interesting enough, it seems like you've taken charge of your guides. Sometimes it seems like some of them have not been guiding you as they should. It seems like you have had a talking to them recently. So they are ordering themselves around. They are clearing out their old ways, it seems. So you might see a change in your transition or feel less stressed. It does seem like you're doing a house clearing at this time. And their message to you is that they have not always been fully communicative as they should. So they are working on it.
Do they mean like clairvoyance?
Yes.
Okay. Second question. Oh my God. I don't have like so many. Are there any messages from my angel aspect?
Yes, your angel aspect is actually assisting many children crossing over to the other side. Those that have been ill or those that have been in abusive situations, you're assisting them to cross over. That is where your energy has been the strongest at this time. Syria is one place, but many places. You've been concentrating on children the most because they're the ones that get scared the easiest. Because they're most fragile. They're still at that they're still connected to the other side, but they can even also easily get lost. So much attention goes around them greatly.
Okay. Thank you so much, Archangel
Yes.
Raphael. That's it for the evening.
Blessings to you. Blessings to all. Peacefulness to everyone. Okay. All right. Greetings, everyone.